Mariano Rivera, Ichiro Suzuki. One is the greatest closer of all time, who perfected his art with only one type of pitch, and is the only member of the Hall of Fame voted in unanimously. The other is one of the greatest Japanese-born baseball players to play in the major leagues. His contact ability at the plate was one of the best of all time. It's only a formality to wait the 5 years before he gets into the Hall himself. What happens when the unstoppable hitting force of Ichiro meets the immovable ninth-inning stalwart of Mariano Rivera? That will be answered in this episode of When Legends Collide. Let's set the stage for these guys. Rivera played from 1995 until 2013. Ichiro played from 2001 to 2019, so a fair amount of their careers overlapped. One thing to observe throughout this whole thing is a small statistic called pitches per plate appearance. Mariano Rivera had a PpPA of 3.8, and Ichiro's was about 3.6, with the Major League Baseball average about 3.75. Combining Mariano's cutter and Ichiro's hitting ability, plate appearances have the potential of ending quickly. We'll revisit this one at the end. These two legends met 14 times in the regular season, and all of their matchups happened from the 9th inning or later, so of course, the stakes were high. Here are plate appearances 1 and 2. The first time they met was May 18th, 2001, the beginning of a hallmark career for Ichiro, along with an incredible start to the Mariners season. Also, this was a continuation of a New York team dynasty for Mariano Rivera, when the Yankees were on their quest to win a 4th consecutive World Series title. The Mariners are down 14-10 at home. There are 2 outs and Mark McLemore is on first. The Mariners are on the verge of losing their 10th game of the season, 41 games into the season. Oh no. Rivera's first pitch is a cutter. I don't know what else it could have been. A called strike. McLemore advances to second on defensive indifference. Second pitch is a ball. The third pitch, contact. A weak ground ball to Mariano Rivera. He tossed it to first and the Yankees win. Not super glamorous, but hey, that's what happens. Rivera wins this encounter. Second meeting is less than 24 hours later, in the bottom of the 10th, with 1 out and nobody on. The Mariners are behind 2-1. If the Mariners lose today, it will be the first time that they had lost 2 straight games against the same team this season. The first pitch is a ball, and the second is put in play. It's a ground ball to defensive whiz Derek Jeter, who makes the toss to first for the out. The Mariners will lose this game as well, which is an interesting message of foreboding for the postseason later that year. For those interested, Mariano Rivera and Ichiro did face each other in the postseason, with Ichiro getting a double and a ground out, but neither resulted in a Mariners win, so these won't count toward the regular season matchups. Moving on to 2002, we have another pair of encounters. Not back-to-back days like in 2001, but very close in the season. The third plate appearance is on April 28th. Seattle is down 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th. There are runners on first and second and 1 out. A hit ties the game, an extra base hit wins it, but Rivera is notably stingy in giving up hits and extra base hits, as for that year he had a whip of 1. First pitch, called strike. Second pitch, called strike. Third pitch, swinging strike. This is probably the worst Ichiro has ever looked throughout this entire matchup. To give you an idea about how strange this is, Ichiro had 45 plate appearances that year, in which he had an 0-2 count, with 17 strikeouts. And no pitcher was able to strike him out on 3 pitches more than once. Here are the guys who did it, which is a very interesting list. The M's lost this game, so Mo is the clear victor. Ichiro hasn't made it on base, nor has he looked very solid in any of his at-bats so far. The next game is a few days later. The game is tied 5-5 in the top of the 9th. There is 1 out, the runners are on first and third. So far, Ichiro has been held in check by Rivera, but according to the Yankees, he's still a significant enough threat as they intentionally walk him to load the bases rather than risk him getting a hit and driving in a run. And, based off of his runners and scoring position numbers in 2001, that makes the most sense. It's the first time Ichiro has seen more than 3 pitches in his plate appearance, although this was the time where they lobbed the ball to home to signify an intentional walk. So what happened after this? Rivera gives up 3 straight singles which drive in 4 runs, of which Ichiro's the third, and the Mariners would win this game 9-5. So I'll credit Ichiro with his first successful plate appearance against Mo. Here's some fun facts about this game as well. Ichiro was one of 2 guys Rivera intentionally walked all season. The other was Jim Thome, which makes sense. However, when he walked Jim Thome intentionally, it was in the game that Bill Selby hit a walk-off grand slam that I mentioned in this video about Mariano Rivera. Mo and Ichiro would miss each other in 2003, so the next time they meet is 2004. Mariners at home. It's 7-6 Yankees, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, runner on first. Ichiro hits the first pitch. It is a line out to third base, which ends the game. Quick and easy, and the second time an at-bat by Ichiro has resulted in the end of the game. Next game, a week later, and we're tied again, 7-7 in the top of the 11th. Rivera has already been in for the 10th, and it's a second inning of work. Bases are empty, 1 out. First pitch, foul ball. Second pitch, foul ball. Third pitch, foul ball. Fourth pitch is a ground ball slowly hit to A-Rod at third base, and Ichiro beats the play and is safe at first. Cheap or not, it's his first hit in all the time that Mariano Rivera and Ichiro have faced each other, but as of now, none of Ichiro's contact has left the infield in fair territory. Now, the Mariners in that game didn't do anything in that inning, but they did win the game later on in the 13th, scoring 6 runs, so generally it's a win all around for the Mariners. It's now 2005, and they meet again in May. The M's are down 7-4 in the top of the 9th with 1 out and a runner on first. Ichiro takes ball 1, then ball 2. It's the farthest ahead in the count Ichiro has ever been in their matchups. Third pitch is put in play, and he pops it up. Derek Jeter catches this one on the outfield grass slightly beyond second base. Rivera wins, Ichiro and the Mariners lose. Next game in 05, it's in August. The Mariners are down 7-4 in the bottom of the 9th, no out. Very similar to last time. First pitch is a ball, then contact for Ichiro. He finally gets one to the outfield, but it's a fly out to center field. The Mariners lose this game too. It's almost as if Mariano Rivera is doing a good job at his job. We jump to 2006, the only time these two meet in this season. Seattle is down 4-2 in the top of the 9th. There's 1 out, with runners on first and third. The Mariners have a legitimate chance to take the lead. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch is in play. He pops it up to Jeter again, and the Mariners end up losing again. This one was rough because they had a good chance, but once again, that's why Mariano Rivera is as good as he was. It might just be me, but it seems like Ichiro is getting a bit more of a handle on Mariano's cutter, as Ichiro's not had a swinging strike since his strikeout in 2002. Plus, he's hitting the ball a bit harder, getting it to the outfield in these last 3 encounters. Could be that the tide's changing, but we'll see. In 2007, they meet once in May in a non-competitive situation. The Yanks are ahead 7-2 in the bottom half of the 9th, but there are no outs and runners on first and third. Hey, if they score 2 runs, it puts it into a save situation. Pitch 1, called strike. Pitch 2, foul. Pitch 3, foul. Pitch 4 is grounded to third base, and rather than try and rush a throw to first to get Ichiro, who you know is busting it down the line, A-Rod throws it home to get Jose Lopez, the runner on third, out in a brief rundown. So it's a fielder's choice, so not a hit, and it doesn't count toward on-base percentage, but Ichiro's on first base. And it doesn't matter, because Jose Vidro grounds into a double play and the Mariners lose. The Mariners literally cannot catch a break with Mariano Rivera so far. They avoid meeting in 2008, and 2009 rolls around. The first matchup this year is in August. The Yankees are ahead 5-2 in the bottom of the 9th. The Mariners have a runner on first with 1 out. Ichiro takes the first pitch for a called strike. The second pitch is hit well to short right field, a single. It's only his second hit against Rivera, but it's not a cheap one this time. However, Ichiro does get stranded on the bases as the Mariners lose this game too. They do meet again about a month later back in Seattle. The Mariners are down 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th, runner on second, 2 out. This play speaks for itself. It's the last time Ichiro will end the game at the plate in his meetings against Mo, and it was the most storybook ending of a game between 2 legends of the game that could ever be written. They will meet twice more. We're in 2010 now, and the Yankees have another World Series ring when they come back to meet Seattle in August. The Mariners are down 9-4 in the top of the 9th, so another lower stakes game. That being said, Mariano Rivera and Ichiro still have to face each other. There's 1 out, nobody on. First pitch is a ball, then a called strike, next pitch is a ball. The 4th and 5th pitches are fouled off. It's a 2-2 count. Ball 3, full count. On the 7th pitch of the at-bat, Ichiro lines a ball to the opposite field and dunks it in for a base hit. It's his 3rd consecutive hit against Rivera. Ichiro does score this inning, but the Mariners lose. Ichiro did all he could. The final meeting, in September of 2011, we have another close game in Seattle. It's 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. Ball 1, strike 1. Then Ichiro nubs the ball to third base, and it gets by for Ichiro's fourth consecutive hit against Mo. He makes it to first with Kyle Seager and Dustin Ackley to follow. Now let's see how this game plays out. I know this isn't like exactly the format, it's like just supposed to be against Ichiro versus Mariano Rivera, but it's their last encounter. I want to see how this turns out. So Kyle Seager strikes out, 2 outs. Now Dustin Ackley, a rookie who's having a good season, is now up. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch is a ball. Wait, Ichiro's stealing second? And he's thrown out by known Yankee catcher Russell Martin to end the game. Wow. Fun fact, the last time Ichiro had hit a single to the third base side with 1 out and no one on was back in 2004, and Ichiro attempted a stolen base and was successful that time. So who knows, maybe the Yankees in the back of their mind had it to where Ichiro tries to take a base in those very rare scenarios. So now, after all of these matchups, which there were a lot more than Barry Bonds versus Roger Clemens, what can we tell from this? Ichiro faced Rivera when the Mariners were down 12 of the 14 times, with the other 2 being ties. Ichiro ended 3 of the games, 2 losses and 1 win. I mean, technically 4 if you count the last out when he failed to steal the base, but strictly as a hitter, it's been 3 games. As mentioned before, he had 4 consecutive hits off Rivera to end their matchup, so he found something he could lock in on. Ichiro swung his bat 20 times and made contact 19 times for a preposterous 95% contact rate. Remember earlier I mentioned pitches per plate appearance? Well, the average pitch per plate appearance that these two had in their matchups was 2.93, close to about a whole pitch lower than their averages for their careers. If you eliminate the 7-pitch at-bat, that goes down to 2.61, and if you remove the intentional walk, which those counted as pitches back then, it drops to 2.5. So action was definitely happening for most of these plate appearances. Most of these at-bats started favorably for Ichiro, with 9 of 14 starting with either a ball hit into play or taking the first pitch for ball 1. Ichiro was not an easy out at all, and Rivera only had 1 pitch, albeit the best pitch in all of baseball. So generally speaking, here are the victories the players had against each other, and here are the team results. Seems pretty straightforward. Ichiro played until 2019, and Rivera pitched until 2013. So, why does everything stop at 2011? Well, they became teammates in the middle of 2012 and remained teammates until Rivera's retirement at the end of 2013. So, a very happy and nice resolution to a star-studded matchup. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, please! And also, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments other legendary head-to-head matchups you might want to see me break down. Thanks for watching.